Your PC Hero is back, and we have a special episode for you, one you want to record. It's about XP, the end of it, and what you need to do, plus our usual freebies, so stay tuned.
Rocketed from the dying planet Microsoft, raised by a kindly couple in the small town called Wazville, your PC hero grew strong knowing one day he would be the one to fight computer malware and ignorance. In his secret identity of mild-mannered tech reporter Alan Barebi, he fights for truth, justice, and the Jobsian way. And now, the one, the only, your PC hero.
Welcome, everyone, to Your PC Hero, coming to your rescue every single week. And don't forget to check out our phone numbers. Local number is 727-441-3000. Toll free is 866-826-1340. Call in and ask us any question you want about XP or anything else. We also have a website, yourpchero.com, where every single week after the show airs, we put the links to everything that we discuss on there, including the audio to stream it later, video of us in action, our freebie choices, interview subject, everything is up on the website, yourpchero.com, as well as a giant question mark on the right-hand side. If you click on it, you get to ask us any question you want. Every single question will get answered for free, but only one gets chosen to be on the show as the winning question of the week. But before we get into all of that, the show is incomplete without my partner in crime, the baddest man in technology, the shogun of technology, Andre.
Am I the meanest?
Sure enough.
Am I the prettiest?
Sure enough.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Sure enough.
Well, who am I?
Sure enough.
Who am I?
Sure enough.
I can't hear you.
Sure enough.
Alan, I can't hear you, baby. Who is the baddest man on the planet sitting in this room with you right now? You are in the presence of greatness, my brother.
I know, Cedric is great, my brother.
No, I'm talking about me, baby. I'm talking about me, Mr. Bad, Mr. Wonderful.
Well, I missed you last week.
Yeah, bro.
I had to do the show solo. I don't even want to know. I don't want to hear the details. I don't even want to know where you've been.
I got 2 words.
Because
Kate
it scares
Upton.
me. Uh-huh. Oh, boy.
2 words. Kate Upton,
All right,
baby.
you're going to have to tell me after the show because this is a family show, my friend.
Yes.
All right, well, we've talked about this many a time, my brother.
Yes, we have.
Couple of months. XP is over.
Yep. Where's the funeral music?
I don't know.
I'm hearing it in my head.
Okay. Cedric, baby, you got some good music to celebrate the ending of XP? Well, not celebrate.
Yeah, like Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead. Can you play that one?
Oh, there you go.
There you
Some
go.
sad music.
Yes.
Very good. Well, we're going to miss you, XP, because you were a very good operating system, probably the best Windows up until that point.
12 and a
say?
half years, baby.
Right? Until XP came along, XP was the best one.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
98 was great. XP was greater.
Much greater.
Yes.
Much greater. It took the stability of Windows 2000, the usability of 98, and it made something great. And if you remember this because back in our investment recovery network days,
Yes. Of the
we had to deal
professionals.
with Windows Millennium.
That's
Remember
right.
that?
Yes, I do. I
Oh,
remember
boy.
every virus and every time that I had to wipe it.
Yes.
I remember every single time, every instance.
So XP was a wonderful, backup, not backup, but comeback from Windows Millennium. And it's been doing so well that many offices, many people kept it.
I think they're going to
They found
reboot
no
it.
reason to upgrade.
I think they're going to do it like every other horrible movie that's come out, like Spider-Man and all that. I think a year from now they'll do a reboot.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. It'll be
XP
Windows
sequel?
XP S.
Squared.
Yes, squared. Exactly.
Well, we had XP. That was great. And then we had Vista, which was horrible. Then we had 7. That was great. Then we had 8 that, some people think is horrible. Some people think it's okay. I don't know what's coming up next, but let's not talk about the future unless it has to do with what are we going to do about XP being gone. Because for those of you who haven't been paying attention, after 12 years, Microsoft is ending support for Windows XP. Andre, you want to tell them why they should care or what that even means?
It means a lot. I mean, you think about something that's been around for the last 12 and a half years, that's been a part of everybody's computer system, part of everybody's life for the longest period of time. Mm-hmm. And some people just never moved away from it. Some people never, they didn't evolve to Vista or Windows 7 or Windows 8. Mm-hmm. They didn't even go to Millennium. They just basically stayed with Windows XP for all that time.
Yep.
And now it's going to be gone. And the ramifications of it being gone don't just stretch to the personal PC. I mean, there's a lot of other things that are running on XP, a lot of other platforms out there that have people questioning, what are we going to do now?
Right. Well, for those of you who say, and I know you're out there thinking, well, I've had XP for 12 years, I'll just keep it. My antivirus will take care of any problems. I hope that you paid attention when Target was hacked and all these companies were hacked, okay? What XP's end of life and end of support means is that, these hackers are always finding holes in the operating system for them to get into your system.
Right.
Steal your credit card information, your identity theft, whatever it is. All right? Microsoft tries to patch, that's what we call patching. Right. Patch these holes so that they can't get in so easily. And that's why it's always very important that you do your Windows updates. You don't put them off because they're updates for a reason. They're trying to patch the holes that unscrupulous people can get in. Well, when XP support is over, no more patching of Windows XP. That means whatever holes exist are there. That's it.
Right. And what I don't understand is, and you've mentioned this before, Alan, is why they don't just put it out there and let folks in the public, just throw it out there and let people that really want to develop on that platform continue to keep building on XP. Continue to patch it for the public. But I know why they're not going to do that. You know why? Because there's no money in it.
Right.
That's right.
But
the greed factor is phenomenal.
Right. Now I want you to put yourself in the criminal's mind. All right?
I can do that very easily.
I know. You're like a step right. You're right there on the edge, brother.
That's right.
You're right there on the edge.
That's right.
Baddest
Doing the
man.
dirty. Doing the dirty, baby. That's right.
Well, let's say the Shogun knows that there's a couple of houses that he could, rip off. One's Sukiyaki's house. The other one's Kate Upton's house. But he knows in advance Kate Upton's unlocked. The door's unlocked. And there is no alarm and there is no camera system. What are you going to do?
You know what I'm going to do.
I know what you're going to do.
You know what I'm going to do.
It's the same thing. When April rolls along and the support ends and the patching ends, the hackers out there are going to devise these robot software to attack every Windows XP machine that they could find because they know they're not going to be plugged.
Yeah.
And you're going to be... So, in theory, you could keep using it, but you're leaving yourself in a whole lot of danger.
That's right, unless you unplug yourself from the internet.
Unless you unplug yourself from the internet. So,
and then you still don't know.
Right. Now, let's say you use another browser, all right, Chrome, and you lock it down with extension. Then you have antivirus, which who knows how long the antivirus companies are going to keep supporting XP because Microsoft doesn't.
There's no money in there.
There's no money in there.
Nah.
So let's say in theory, maybe you could last a couple of months, not using it in an Explorer, whatever. But eventually, you're going to get attacked.
Yeah, and I mean, the industry's already starting to not do things for XP anymore. They know it's going away in a month or two. Mm-hmm. There's no money in it. They're not going to sit there and continue to do that. They didn't do it for Windows 98. They didn't do it for Windows 95. Mm-hmm. They didn't do it for Windows ME. I doubt they're still doing it for Vista, but you never know.
Well, I think maybe Vista, but...
Maybe.
Look, it was a great show, but the show's over. Not show enough.
Oh, because I was getting ready to go.
Uh-huh. The show's over, so now what are you going to do? And that's what we're here to talk about this week. What can you do knowing that XP is over? And guys, it's not just XP. Office 2003.
There's a lot more than that, bro. I mean, if you're an enterprise-level user, a lot of the server OSs that Microsoft had are being discontinued, too.
Right. But for most consumers out there, the two that are going to affect them the most is XP and Office 2003. Now, if you're not sure what version of Office you have, very simple. You could just launch a program, and the splash page will tell you what it is. Or go to the Help menu, and go to About, and you'll see if it's 2003 or if it's called Office XP. That's the same thing. It's either 2002, 2003. You guys are in trouble because, again, that's not going to be patched either.
Nope, not supporting it anymore.
Right. And now, does it matter if you're doing a Word document? Probably not. But if you're using Outlook for your email, oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to make a big difference for
Big
folks,
difference.
you know. And I mean, the thing about it is if you have software that only runs on the Windows XP platform, unless you're buying a newer version of Windows that supports XP mode,
Right.
you're not going to be able to run that software anymore.
Really
either.
not.
Even if it's not something that's related to Windows.
You're right.
You're not going to be able to find driver support anymore. If you buy a new printer and you decide to hook that up to your old XP machine, guess what?
Mm-hmm.
Good luck making that thing work.
That's right.
Hopefully it's got a built-in toaster or something.
That's right. So what do we do? All right? What do we do? That's the big question. All right. So obviously there's the first question is, what do I do with my existing machine? Right?
Right.
Do I keep it or do I and upgrade it to Windows 7 or Windows 8? Or do I get a brand new machine? How do you know if it's worth it to upgrade it or not?
Well, if you bought it when XP was, coming out, then it's probably not going to be worth it because it's probably 12 years old already,
Right.
and it's probably not going to be worth upgrading, and it probably won't run Windows 7 anyway, or if it does, it'll run it so painfully slow.
Mm-hmm. Right. Now, look, Microsoft has a list on their website, and we'll put the list up on our website as well, yourpchero.com, that tells you the system requirements for every operating system. They have it for XP, they have it for Windows 7. Let me tell you, it's a bunch of horse crap, okay? They tell you, it can run with 2 gigabytes of memory. Show, you're my witness. You had a laptop with 2 gigabytes of memory. How did Windows 8 run on that?
I don't know. I never got that far.
Right.
I turned it on and I waited and I waited and I waited and then I finally just took it back to the store and I was still waiting.
Right. So don't just go by the system requirements, especially when it comes to RAM and memory. Always, I like to say at least 1.5 or double that amount is what you really need.
Yeah, and that's just to be comfortable, honestly.
Right,
I
and
mean,
that's
because that's
just to
not
be-
great.
No, it's not great. So the first thing you have to figure out is how much will it cost? First of all, how much RAM and memory that you have on your computer right now,
Right.
and how much will it cost to, if it's even possible, to upgrade it?
Well, and the thing you got to take into consideration, too, is that, Windows 7, Windows Vista, all of those were made to run on either 32-bit or 64-bit.
Mm-hmm.
Most XP machines, XP was only ever 32-bit.
Yeah, they had a 64-bit version, but nobody had it.
Yeah, nobody had it.
No.
And I guarantee you, if you're a home user, you don't have it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to look at your machine. First of all, how old is it? That'll help us, tell you whether you got to get rid of it. If it's more than 5 years old, you're probably going to have to change it out. But there's a very easy way. One of my favorite resources, and I'll mention again later on, and that is you go to the website, Crucial.com. Okay? It's a memory supplier, and they have an amazing system scanner on their website. It's one of the choices right there on the homepage. You download it, you run the system scanner, it'll pop up with a page, it'll tell you how much memory you have and what the maximum memory that you could put in your machine. That's the first thing I would do if you came and brought your machine to me and asked me, should I upgrade to 7 or 8? Can I do it? That's the first thing I will do.
Right. And you have to remember the minimum requirements for running Windows XP in the day were 512 meg
Right.
of memory.
Right.
So most computers that you got, if you had a gig, Windows XP was smoking.
It was fine.
fast.
Right.
But nowadays, you get a machine with 2 gig to 4 gig of RAM trying to run Windows 7 or even Windows Vista for that matter, and it's going to run like a dog.
Right.
And I mean a slow old dog, not like
Right.
a greyhound at the track.
Right.
So, you definitely want to make sure that, honestly, Alan, I think going out there and even doing all of that testing and everything in most cases is going to probably be a colossal waste of time.
It will, but if you want to sleep well at night knowing that, I didn't toss out my old machine for no reason, you could do that.
Right.
And if it doesn't say maximum memory is 4 gigs or more, don't even bother.
Right.
Don't even bother. And if
Yeah.
the cost of the memory, some of these old memory now sticks are expensive.
Oh, yeah.
If the cost of the memory to make it at least 4 gig is, I'm gonna shoot out a number, $60 or more, not worth it either.
Yeah, you're wasting your money at
You're
that
wasting your
point.
money because now you got to pay the $99 for an upgrade license of Windows 7 or Windows 8. Now you're talking close to $200 to turn your barely usable machine usable.
Right, and barely usable.
Barely usable.
Yeah.
Right. Now, if your machine happens to be one of these freak machines that says memory goes up to 8 gigs and has, new memory that's not that expensive, yeah,
Yeah, that's
Worth it.
definitely worth it.
it's worth it. But other than that, don't bother. The other thing you can do is Microsoft themselves has a scan that tells you whether your machine can even run the operating system. Windows 7 and Windows 8.
Right.
System readiness tool. And again, we'll put the link up on the website. So that's the other thing you could do. You could download the system readiness tool and see if it's even capable of running it. You'd be surprised. Maybe the machine's not even capable of running it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, number one, because most of these machines aren't going to be capable of running it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And, I mean, bottom line, you had a good 12-and-a-half-year run on that old dilapidated piece of crap PC that you've got, with all the dust and tomatoes growing out of the back of it. But now it's time to, put that baby out of its misery, go out to the store, buy yourself a brand new Windows 7 machine, right? Part with those little bit of dollars that you've got, and hopefully Microsoft will let that thing run for the next 12 years.
All right. Well, let's say, and I agree with the Shogun.
Of course you
If
do.
you got an XP machine,
course you do.
it's time to buy a new one. The new ones are cheap enough that it's time to buy a new machine.
Yeah, I mean, even a refurbished Windows 7 machine nowadays.
Right.
If you're the ultimate cheap guy and you don't want to go out there and spend the money, and trust me, Alan and I know a lot of ultimate cheap guys that don't want to go out there and spend the money. You can get a Windows 7 machine now, right? On
Right.
eBay, refurbished, factory refurbished with warranty for like $150. You know?
Right.
I mean, you could probably find that in change in the couch in your living room.
I agree. I
Or
agree.
maybe under that old XP machine where all the change fell out.
Where all the cat hair is, right?
That's right.
So you go ahead and you buy yourself a new machine. But I'm going to tell you the same thing I told you when it comes to your existing machine. If your new machine is not easily upgradable when it comes to memory, all right, and again, you know this, bro.
Yeah, oh,
You
yeah,
bought a
yeah.
laptop that had 2 gigs and couldn't go further.
No.
Waste of money.
Yeah, total waste of money.
So the same thing, you buy a tower and it's only going up to 4 gigs of memory, why bother?
Yeah, it's a
because it
complete
means
waste of
another year or
money.
two you can have the same conversation.
Right. Even before a year, because at 4 gigs, Windows 7 does not run extremely well. It might
Right.
be tolerable, but it will be tolerable for a short time. And the one thing that you have to take into consideration is that Windows 7 itself will run well on 4 gig. It's when you start adding Office
Right.
and you start adding all the other apps that
Right.
take up memory,
Right.
then all of a sudden you're wondering why within 2 days your machine's running like a dog.
Right, and especially when you're running multiple things. You want to have, Pandora streaming and Spotify streaming while you're on the internet, and while you're running, doing something in Microsoft Access or Office or whatever. And you're wondering why it's so slow with these 4 things open. It's the memory. That's what causes it.
Right.
So, yeah, you absolutely got to make sure. And again, the same thing we talked about with the old machine. You can go to Crucial.com, and obviously you didn't buy the machine yet, so you can't run the scanner. But you can go to where it says, pick the manufacturer. You could pick the model, the exact model you're thinking about buying, and it'll tell you what the maximum memory is. Or look where you're going, Tiger Direct, Amazon. It'll usually tell you up to 8 gigs, up to 12 gigs, up to whatever.
Right, and we'll tell you point blank that, if you're going to run Windows 7, in my professional opinion, you need a minimum of 8 gigs to make it run decently with Office and everything else on there. And that's still not going to be, depending on what type of processor it has in it, that's still not going to be great, but it'll at least be bearable that way.
Right. I happen to agree with you. I would not buy any tower that couldn't go up to 8 gigs of memory.
No, I wouldn't either. I
No.
mean, 4 gigs, you're just going to be, all you're going to do is piss yourself off.
Right. And again, you don't want to have the same problem a year from now. You don't want to say, oh
Yeah.
my God, now I got to replace this machine again 1 year from now.
Yeah, let's face it. I mean, software is getting a lot more sophisticated. Takes a lot more memory to run Office now than it did back when XP came out.
You're right.
Yep.
You're right. All right. So
You've actually said I'm right 4 times in the last 15
You know
minutes.
what? I caught a cold, and I think my mind is not working right this whole
Yeah, it must be
today.
something.
Something is going
Yeah,
on.
I've never
Sinus
been this
pressure.
right.
Yeah, I haven't been this right.
No.
All right. When we come back from our break, we'll talk a little bit more about what you're going to do with XP support being gone, and maybe my brain will be right. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
I used to hate getting cuts because the stinky stuff Mom used hurt worse than the cut. But now my mom uses Caricure Skin Protectant and it doesn't sting at all. Mom says that's because it's a water-based liquid bandage and doesn't have any chemicals. I can even swim in the pool and it doesn't come off. I've seen Dad use it on his running blisters and when he cuts himself shaving. He says he likes that it stops bleeding when he cuts himself. You should tell your mom to get Caricure. It's in the first aid aisle at Kroger. Caricure, healing the way nature intended.
All right, people, you love the show and now you want to help and you want to make some money too. You can come to your PC Heroes Rescue. We are hiring, that's right. We are looking for a salesperson. Part-time hours, full-time income, you cannot beat it. What do you think, Show?
You can't make money any easier than this. I mean, this is like shooting ducks in a barrel here. All you got to do is come on here, get your dulcet tones on the phone, make a couple of phone calls from us, and the next thing you know, you're going to be rolling in barrels of money.
So if you want to apply for a job here with your PC Hero, all you got to do is go to the website, hit the Contact Us button, and let us take care of the rest. YourPCHero.com, come to our rescue.
Is your computer running slower every day? Tried those speed up your PC scams you saw on TV? Do you just need help but don't know who to call or to trust? Well, your PC Hero is here to come to your rescue. Contact your PC Hero by calling 813-793-7462 or emailing us at help@yourpchero.com. That's 813-793-7462 or email at help@yourpchero.com. Your PC Hero to the rescue.
This is your PC Hero, and everyone who listens to my show knows how much I love the little guy, the cool tech startup, the people who are doing fun things on the internet, even offline businesses that are using the internet to promote their stuff. Well, if you have a business or a cool story that you want to talk about on my show, then give me a call at 813-444-3761. That's 813-4401, and you too can be on your PC Hero. How exciting is that?
No more excuses. Get your business online and let your PC Hero come to your rescue with your domain, hosting, and traffic building needs. Your trusted name on the radio is also your only choice for domain registration, website and email hosting, and tools to generate online traffic. Go to yourpchero.biz for more information. That's yourpchero.biz to the rescue of your biz.
Does your business need a website and professional level email, but you do not have the budget for it, or you think you don't? Well, I have the solution for you. KRBWeb.com. That's right, KRBWeb.com. For as low as $6 a month, that's right, $6 a month, you can get website hosting, email with your domain, a free domain name, and it has a built-in website builder, so you don't even need a web designer. So get started, get your business on the internet at KRBWeb.com.
Have a question? Call in. Our numbers are 727-441-3000 or toll free 866-826-1340. That's 727-441-3000 or toll free 866-826-1340.
All righty. Sukiyaki Sue, the only one that keeps the Shogun in line.
Yes, she does, baby. She's hot like sake wine.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
This is your PC Hero coming back from commercial break. We're talking about XP, the end of XP, the end of Office 2003.
The end of life as you know it.
That's right. And what does it mean for you and what you can do about it? And don't forget our phone numbers. Local 727-441-3000. Toll free 866-826-1340. Call if you have a question or even if you want to disagree with us. We're very nice. Despite the Shogun's deadly stare, baby.
Anger.
Anger.
Anger, my angst.
And don't forget to check out the website, yourpchero.com, where after every show we put all the links to everything we discuss, including the stuff we're talking about today, the interview subjects, reviews, the freebie choices, everything, audio, video. I mean, it's unbelievable what we got up there.
Nah, it's amazing.
And then, of course, our giant question mark on the right-hand side of the page. Ask us a question, any question. We will answer it every single one of them, and only one gets chosen to be on the show as the question of the week. All right. We talked about XP. We talked about whether people should get a new tower or a new laptop or not. You and me are of the general consensus, yes.
Amazing.
Right?
We actually agree on something.
I know. But don't be fooled, people, in thinking that just because it's new, it's going to work, because the show going to tell you his story.
Yeah,
That's
horrible
not
story.
true. Yeah, why don't you tell him? Tell him what happened.
I went and I bought I went, I'm not going to name the brand, because I don't want to out anybody, but I went and I bought what I thought was a fairly decent netbook, with touchscreen and all that, because I needed a fifth laptop.
Right. Something light and portable.
That's right, because I multitask a lot. Mm-hmm. Long story short, I bought it. It was slow as dirt. Like I said, from the day I started it up, I waited 3 days for it to get to the launch screen.
Right.
It never did. I, took it to my good friend Alan to take a look at it, see if I could upgrade the memory. And they actually soldered the memory into the computer so that you can't upgrade them anymore.
Right.
And it had 2 gig. And I mean, it could not run. It ran fine without Office in there, but as soon as I installed Office in there, it was painful.
Right. So don't be, foolish, penny wise and dollar foolish when it comes to your new computer, because you want this to last you a few years. You don't want to have to go through this again. So, like I said, the memory to me is the number one item on your list. What it has and what the maximum memory that it'll have. To me, I check that before I check anything else.
Yep.
Anything
and
else.
The processor is important too.
But even
more important is the memory for sure.
Right.
And just remember, whatever's in there, you got to keep in mind that if you're planning on running a bunch of other software on there, that you want to look at, what that requirement is going to be on that other software and make sure that you've got enough memory for it to run that operating system and to run every other additional piece of software you want to run on there.
Right.
That's really important.
Yep. So that's what you do when it comes to new machine. Now, the final question on new machines, and then we'll talk about the old machine in a minute. But I have a new machine, or I'm thinking about getting a new machine. Now, do I get Windows 7 or do I get Windows 8? What do you think, bro?
I'm a big proponent of Windows 8, and the thing about Windows 8 is there's options out there that you can get, like Classic Shell and all that, to make it functional like Windows 7. 8.1 has, somewhat of a return to the start button. It's a little flag down there, but, you basically get a general idea of how that has to work. If you really don't like the Metro View, you can disable that, using something like Classic Shell. So I would recommend getting the latest and greatest. Windows, Microsoft's not going to go away from it. They may come up with another version of it, but ultimately you're going to wind up upgrading anyway. And that Windows 7 will be end of life before Windows 8 will be.
Right. Now, the odds are you'll probably have another machine by then, but
right.
I agree with the Shogun. You might as well get
Dang.
8. Yeah.
Holy cow.
I know.
That's 5, bro.
I know. Mark
5
it down.
agreements. You must be getting sick. The fever's going up.
That's what it is.
Right? Yeah, your temperature must be over 104. Your brain's frying.
Why is there a pink elephant on your head?
Exactly.
Oh, boy. But yeah, get Windows 8. You might as well. Like I said, there are things like Shogun talked about, like Classic Shell, that can make it more like 7. It's the future. If you're going to buy something new, you might as well buy the future. All right? And believe it or not, it's actually faster than Windows 7. There are some good qualities about Windows 8.
Yeah.
It's faster.
It boots up faster.
It boots up very fast. And adding hardware is very easy.
Yeah, it does. It picks up pretty much almost every driver. I've never ran across anything that I've installed on there that won't run. And again, you have to think about it. I mean, if you were around when Windows 98 was around and Windows XP came out, people really didn't like Windows XP either. They didn't like the experience. Everybody was diehard Windows 98. Took a little bit of getting used to, but once people got into it, it became one of their most popular operating systems ever. So, I don't think that, I'm really getting used to Windows 8 now, and there's a lot of things I like about it.
Yeah, I like it, but I have to tweak it a little
Well,
bit. I don't like it right off the box.
Yeah, but you don't use it as much, I don't think, as I do.
No, I do.
Do you really?
Yeah,
Okay.
not as much as you do, but I do use it every day. All right. Well, all right. Now, let's face it. There are some people out there, they don't have the money. They can't spend $200 on a new computer or $300 or whatever, or even $100 to upgrade. This is hard economic times. Is there anything that these people can do with their existing machine that costs very little money or no money?
Yeah.
And there is, but it means you have to say goodbye to Windows.
Yes, you have to say goodbye to Windows. Fortunately, though, there are some really great alternatives out there for Windows. I mean, the biggest problem that Microsoft has always had has been, making applications that are compatible to other people's stuff. Mainly because they wanted to be proprietary. They wanted you to have to buy Office. They wanted you to have to buy, Access or all their other, software in order to be able to function in today's world. But as technology is evolving, there's a lot of alternatives out there that are very compatible, that do extremely well. Mm-hmm. And, the good thing about it is that some of them are very cost-effective.
They are very cost-effective. However, I've done this for other people. I've put, like, we're talking about Linux. All right?
Are we really?
Yeah. I've done this to other people, and because it's not exactly how they like it to be, or they're not exactly like Windows, they get frustrated. And, it's a catch-22. You want it to be free. You want to be able to use your old machine. There's going to be a little bit of a learning curve.
Right. The same thing with Windows XP to Windows 8. So
but
what's the big difference?
It's the same thing with an iPad.
Yeah.
Right? You can't do everything in an iPad, but you have an app that can open up a Word document. But it's not Word.
No.
You know what
exactly.
I mean? And that's how you have to look at Linux. You'll put a Linux machine on there, a Linux operating system on your old machine. You'll be able to do 95% of what you did before. Okay, you'll be able to go on the internet. You'll be able to read email, check email, do all your email stuff. You'll be able to even work with documents because there's Windows Office suites. There's alternate Office suites that can open up all the Windows stuff like Word and Excel.
Right. You might run across
But
some
it may look a
small,
little different.
and you run across some small formatting
Small.
problems.
So if
Yeah.
you could put up with little differences, you could do this. How much? For free, people.
Yep. And I'll tell you another little secret that you can do that really helps with the compatibility issues. Mm-hmm. And, they've done this in Europe. Europe is, I wouldn't say that they're ultimately vastly anti-Microsoft. Mm-hmm. But they embrace open source a lot more than anybody else does. And there's another document.
They're anti-monopoly. That's
They're
what they are.
anti-monopoly, right. So basically there's another document format called ODF, which stands for Open Document Format. You can save to ODF in Word, just like you can save to .doc or docx or whatever. And if you save it in that, it's compatible. It's basically application agnostic. It doesn't care what you open it up with. It'll open, and the formatting will stay the same.
Right. So you can go ahead and download Linux. Now, Andre mentioned that it's open source. Okay, I'm not going to get into the whole definition of open source, but what it means basically is the code is out there for anyone to look at. It's a community software. It's not a company that developed Linux and you have to pay for it. That's why it's free. It's a community of developers have developed and keep tweaking it and working on it, and it's free for anyone. That's right. You can download Linux for free and put it on your old machine, and it'll run a lot of times even better than XP did on there. But there are a million flavors of Linux because it's so open and free. Everyone comes out with their own version. So which one would you recommend to someone who's coming from Windows XP and wanting to put Linux on their machine? Anyone you like? Which one? I know you like.
Well, I like Mint.
Okay.
Mint is my favorite, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Mint just released Mint 14, which is basically very similar to Windows 8, minus all the things that you hate about Windows 8.
All right.
Which is really great. So, it's based upon Ubuntu, which is another very popular one.
Right.
That's out there. I think mostly everybody that's familiar with any version of Linux is familiar with Ubuntu, or they've heard of it. Maybe not ever seen it, but they've heard of it. And it's by far probably the easiest version of Linux for a Windows person to adapt to.
Right. Now, a lot of you guys are like, rolling your eyes and oh, no, it's all about Linux. Look, it's just like XP. It's just like anything else. You download the operating system, the software. You make a DVD, you burn it, and you run it just like you would install Windows XP. It's not complicated at all. You burn a CD or DVD, depending how big the system is. You boot off of it. It'll tell you, do you want to install Linux Mint? You hit yes, 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 yes. English, yes. It's not hard. Anybody with even a modicum of intelligence can install, like the Shogun was talking about, Linux Mint on their old tower.
Yeah, and the great thing about it is, and I'll tell you, I've never ran across an issue with drivers within Linux either. It seems like whoever's doing all of the updates and everything for most versions of Linux that I've used, any machine I've installed it in, it's found all the drivers without a problem. You know, never had a problem. Like with Windows, I always had problems getting network drivers and printer drivers, and, you know, you'd install it, and then you'd go into your device manager, and there were all these yellow circles with the X's in there where stuff didn't install. And then it's like you can't get on the internet, so how do you go get more drivers?
Right.
You know, but Linux, I've never had that problem, which is just really interesting to me.
Well, I'm going to tell you something that's amazing about these Linux flavors that will make that even easier. And that is, most of them, when you download it and you burn it onto a DVD and you boot off of it, you have the option of running it off the CD or the DVD as a it's called a live CD, which is basically you try it without installing it, and you could actually see it, play with it before you actually install it. The problem is because the whole computer system is on the DVD, it runs slower than it would if you install it, but you can make sure everything's working.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
And if you like it, if the interfaces make sense to you and everything else. But,
Right.
you know, the one thing that's happened with Linux is because people are adapting to it more and more, you know, they're trying to make it a lot more like Windows or like the Mac OS so that people are really comfortable with the features, and it's really intuitive. They've made the menus the same. Some of them are actually naming the different things like control panel and all that the same. You know, they're using a little button in the corner just like Windows does for the start menu.
Right.
You know, so the only compatibility things that you'll find is there's some subtle differences in the versions of Office that you can download. And, you know, Alan's got a couple that he's used that are almost identical to Office.
Right.
And, you know, we'll obviously put those up on the website. But
Of course. Now, one thing that Shogun was saying that's absolutely true is...
Wow.
I know.
That's
It's
10.
It's crazy.
The count is going up.
It's crazy.
I'm telling you, man, this is just cray-cray, baby.
Right.
I can't believe I've been right with you 10 times today.
You better hope I don't get, healed from this
Yeah, I hope
sickness.
not, man. I'm praying you keep this cold for the next year.
Yeah, well, one thing he's right is that, the Linux are getting more and more user-friendly. It's not like the old days where you had to learn code and all these commands. It really is point and click. I mean, just like Apple and just like Windows, and they're becoming more and more user-friendly for someone who is coming from the Windows world and the Mac world. One of the ones that I like that I started playing with is called Elementary OS, and that looks more like the Mac side. If you're a Mac user, I like Elementary OS better than Linux Mint because it has got a little bit of a Mac flavor. One thing that's really nice about all of these Linux, and this is something you don't get with Mac, and you don't get Windows, any version of Windows, is that it comes with a bunch of software.
Right,
okay?
bundled in.
99% of the time, it will come with OpenOffice or some kind of an Office suite already in there.
Right.
So you can work with Word documents, Excel, and all that stuff. And media players, all that, they all come. You don't have to sit there and start finding it. It's already in there when you install Linux.
Right, and even the copies of Office, the best
Right.
copies that are compatible are usually already pre-installed on there. So it's really easy to get in there and, get right to work on it. It's a clean install. I'll tell you another thing about Linux is very low memory. It's still fast.
Yeah.
It's still super fast. It doesn't require a lot to run it. And the other thing about it is it's very, very secure.
Right. Very secure.
Very secure. And there's a lot of reasons why that is. Number one, because obviously you have a community that's working on it, but, also because of the way it's built.
Right.
You
From
know?
the ground up, it's built for this internet world, and it is, it's like building a house with steel or building a house with straw. You could do everything you can to make the straw house more secure, but if you build it right from the beginning with steel, it's always going to be stronger, and that's what happens with Linux. It's just from the core up, it is almost, I would say, almost unattackable.
Yeah, it is. And people don't spend time, trying to attack it. The other thing about it is there's so many flavors out there
Right.
that you can't write viruses to basically exploit everything.
Right.
Because there's just so many different people using so many different OSs. So that's why you see these guys commonly attacking Windows.
Right.
The reason that you don't see a lot of Mac viruses anymore is because Mac is also written on a Linux, Unix-based platform.
Correct.
Which is why the Macs are so secure.
Right. And also, you got to remember the other thing is that Linux is not a company. Okay, it's an open source movement. So there's not that anger like
Right.
to the companies where they're making money and they want to attack them. You don't have that kind of feeling because why would you do that? He's giving it free to everybody.
Right.
So, all right, one last thing before we go to our break is we talked about, operating system alternatives like Linux Mint and Elementary, which I like. And I'm going to have another one later in my freebie choice of the week. But what if you have Windows 7, but you also have Office 2003, and you need to replace that? I like Kingsoft Office.
Right.
It doesn't have an Outlook, alternative.
Right.
But it has the option to look exactly like Office 2003. It saves it in the Office format.
Right.
To me, it's light. It's great. That's my number one choice.
Right, and I've used OpenOffice, which doesn't have that also. But the good thing about it is there is a product out there called Thunderbird.
Right.
And I'm not talking about the wine that I drink for $2 at the gas station. I'm talking about the actual mail client.
Right.
And it looks a lot like Outlook. It runs a lot like Outlook. It's got some better features than Outlook, to tell you the honest truth.
Yep.
And it's free, so if you get a copy of Office and you get Kingsoft like Alan likes, just download a copy of Thunderbird. That'll take care of your Outlook replacement.
And Thunderbird, it can be on the Mac.
Right.
It can be on Office, Windows. It could be on Linux, too.
Right, and it runs on Linux, too.
All righty. When we come back from our break, we're going to wrap up the XP Special Edition show, and we're going to have our freebie choices of the week and the question of the week. So stay tuned.
I used to hate getting cuts because the stinky stuff Mom used hurt worse than the cut. But now my mom uses Caricure Skin Protectant and it doesn't sting at all. Mom says that's because it's a water-based liquid bandage and doesn't have any chemicals. I can even swim in the pool and it doesn't come off. I've seen Dad use it on his running blisters and when he cuts himself shaving. He says he likes that it stops bleeding when he cuts himself. You should tell your mom to get Caricure. It's in the first aid aisle at Kroger. Caricure, healing the way nature intended.
All right, people, you love the show, and now you want to help, and you want to make some money, too. You can come to your PC Heroes Rescue. We are hiring. That's right. We are looking for a salesperson. Part-time hours, full-time income. You cannot beat it. What do you think, Show?
You can't make money any easier than this. I mean, this is like shooting ducks in a barrel here. All you got to do is come on here, get your dulcet tones on the phone, make a couple of phone calls from us, and the next thing you know, you're going to be rolling in barrels of money.
So if you want to apply for a job here with your PC Hero, all you got to do is go to the website, hit the Contact Us button, and let us take care of the rest. YourPCHero.com. Come to our rescue.
Is your computer running slower every day? Tried those speed up your PC scams you saw on TV? Do you just need help but don't know who to call or to trust? Well, Your PC Hero is here to come to your rescue. Contact Your PC Hero by calling 813-793-7462 or emailing us at help@yourpchero.com. That's 813-793-7462 or email at help@yourpchero.com. Your PC Hero to the rescue.
This is Your PC Hero, and everyone who listens to my show knows how much I love the little guy, the cool tech startup, the people who are doing fun things on the internet, even offline businesses that are using the internet to promote their stuff. Well, if you have a business or a cool story that you want to talk about on my show, then give me a call at 813-444-3761. That's 813-4401, and you too can be on Your PC Hero. How exciting is that?
No more excuses. Get your business online and let Your PC Hero come to your rescue with your domain, hosting, and traffic building needs. Your trusted name on the radio is also your only choice for domain registration, website and email hosting, and tools to generate online traffic. Go to yourpchero.biz for more information. That's yourpchero.biz to the rescue of your biz.
Does your business need a website and professional level email, but you do not have the budget for it, or you think you don't? Well, I have the solution for you. KRBWeb.com. That's right, KRBWeb.com. For as low as $6 a month, that's right, $6 a month, you can get website hosting, email with your domain, a free domain name, and it has a built-in website builder, so you don't even need a web designer. So get started, get your business on the internet at KRBWeb.com.
Have a question? Call in. Our numbers are 727-441-3000 or toll free 866-826-1340. That's 727-441-3000 or toll free 866-826-1340.
I have a lot of experience with the whole computer thing, emails, sending emails, receiving emails, deleting emails. I could go on.
Go on, please.
Yes, please.
Show us your expertise.
That's right. I've got a lot of experience doing the same thing, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Same exact thing.
Right. Before we get into our question of the week, our listener email of the week, I want to do one more thing about Outlook alternatives. Okay, you mentioned Thunderbird.
Right.
Linux has a couple of them too, like Evolution, that even has the built-in calendar like Outlook. But I got to tell you, people, you really need to move web-based anyway, because then it would work everywhere.
Right.
Seriously, you got to think about not using a program for your email and go web-based. It's backed up much better than you will ever back it up. It's available everywhere. It looks the same everywhere. It'll save you a lot of headaches.
Right. But you know what? I've got a lot of experience with that, bro. Sending emails, receiving emails.
Yes, I know.
I could go on.
You could, huh?
Yes.
You sound like you know your stuff.
I do.
All righty. The listener email of the week is from Tiffany from Lakeland.
I think I know her.
You do?
I think so.
Oh, boy. Which antivirus should I use? That was her question.
Wow, that's a good question. Well, that depends.
Uh-huh.
Tiffany, how much money do you have? Because if you're looking for free,
yeah.
If you want a free one,
which I'm a big proponent of.
Right. I still recommend AVG by Grysoft. Still probably the best one out there. Best bang for your buck. After that, I would probably say Avast, but there's some things about Avast I don't like.
Yeah. I don't think you should be spending money on antivirus. I've worked on enough computers that have been infected that had the top of the line supposedly antivirus on them. A lot of these problems are user error. For example, if you would just switch your browser to Chrome or Firefox, you would eliminate a lot of problems. If you updated your Windows computer all the time, you will eliminate a lot of problems. So I think any antivirus would be okay. I like Microsoft Security Essentials because it's free and it's very light. But I also like Avast. The problem with Avast is the constant nagging, upgrading.
Which is what I hate.
Yeah, and the pop-ups, that's a little bit annoying. AVG is okay, but it slows down a little bit, the computer. But personally, either one of our choices is good. AVG, Avast, or Microsoft Security Essentials does a good enough job. And then just update your Windows, and then please use a different browser, and you'll be fine.
And just one quick point. If you're using Windows 8, Windows 8 comes with a lot of that functionality already built in.
That's right.
So if you install an antivirus over what's already in there, it's going to substantially slow down your computer.
And if you buy a brand new Windows 8 like we've been recommending today, and it comes with a trial version of whatever, Norton, McAfee, whatever, remove it, okay? It's only going to slow you down. And like you said, Windows 8 has built-in anti-malware virus functions already in there. You don't need an extra one, all right? Windows 8 plus, like I said, an alternate browser, and you'll be fine. And, of course, the updates. All right, thank you, Tiffany from Lakeland. All righty, and now we come to the favorite part of the show, baby. Freebie choices of the week.
I love free.
I know you do.
Yep.
I know.
I'm all about free.
I know. And you give yourself away for free, too.
I do, absolutely.
I've seen you on the street corner.
Yeah, a few times a week.
All right, every week we pick a choice. Shogun and I.
How come I'm never your free choice, bro?
What?
How come I'm never your free choice of the week?
I have no idea why you're not my free choice.
I know, I should be.
Because I think there's a hidden cost. You're a freemium.
I'm a freemium.
Yes, there's a hidden cost.
I got you. Yeah, that's
right
right.
there in the terms of agreement.
Of course, that's right. To get in with the Shogun, there's a hidden price that you have to pay.
That's right. Well, our choices here, there is no hidden price. These are things that we've used. We recommend them. They are absolutely free, and they have great value, which, of course, is important in these hard economic times. Show, baby, what is your freebie choice of the week?
My freebie choice of the week is an entertainment choice. It's called Wattpad, WATTPAD.com. Basically what it is, it's an app. You can join for free, and it's basically a bunch of stories that have been written by writers from around the world. They're, obviously books that you don't see in the mainstream a lot, but there's literally millions and millions of them out there. You can join for free. You can read any book that's on there. It's unlimited. Any genre, really, that you like. So, if you're looking for something to read on the plane or, just to kill some time, there's some really great stories out here and some great stuff.
How did you find this?
How did I find it? Because I'm an author myself. I've written a couple of books, and it's really expensive. When you're out there in the mainstream and you're trying to buy books from Amazon and all this stuff, and these little known authors that really can't get published anywhere else, or they could, but they don't, are just willing to put their stuff out in this community, and I think it's a great thing. And so, I'm always about the small artist, know that.
Right.
So, I think this is a great site for people to get discovered, but also for people that like to read books to be able to read something for free.
That is very, very cool.
Yes.
Wattpad.com, WATTPAD.com. And again, don't worry about it. All these links will be up on the website, yourpchero.com, at the end of every show.
Yes, and my new book is on there, by the way, 30 Women in 30 Days.
All right. Beautiful. Is it a PG or a NC-17?
It's actually general audiences.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. This I have to see. All right. Well, mine is really my number one choice. I've mentioned it a couple of times, but not as a freebie choice. My number one alternate operating system for these old XP machines, for people who are so used to the Windows world, and that is Zorin OS.
I thought you were going to say DOS.
Nah. ZORIN-OS.com. This is a Linux, like the other ones we talked about. However, they've designed it so it looks like Windows.
Really?
Really does. In fact, when you first click on it, it'll ask you, do you want to look like Windows 7, or do you want to look like Windows XP,
or
Bill
even
Gates.
Like
Mac?
Or like Bill Gates.
No, nobody wants to look like that.
You sure?
No, I'm positive. I'm positive. It's really great. It has all the stuff in there. They even try, like you talked about earlier, to make the wording like Windows, like start and programs and control panel and everything else.
Or you have a virus.
Oh, you have a virus, that's right, which you'll never have with this
Or you
one.
have 500,000 updates.
Yeah, you'll never have it with Zorin.
Yeah,
believe me.
That's amazing.
It is. It really is amazing. And really, you got to download it and try it out. It looks exactly like Windows.
Doesn't it amaze you, bro, that that you don't see updates like that in Linux?
You do, but
not to the degree where it's 170 meg or 250 meg worth of downloads.
Right. Well, it's very stable. Like I said, really looks exactly like Windows 7. It comes with a lot of software like Chrome, which Google Chrome that you already use, and other stuff right out of the box. It's just an amazing, really amazing alternate operating system choice. Zorin OS. If you really want to keep your old Windows machine, it's my highly recommended choice for something else besides Windows XP.
Does it run pretty good on the older boxes?
Yeah, absolutely. Not as fast as the elementary one, which is really light, but still very fast. And let me tell you something, it's faster than Windows 7.
Wow. That's fast.
Yep. So again, if you're used to using, something that is Windows related, this is your choice, Zorin OS. All right, bro.
Awesome, brother.
Well, now the people out there know what to do.
They know what to do. You can keep that old boat anchor with the cat here on it.
That's right. So in summary, XP is over in April.
That's
Outlook
right.
Office 2003 is over in April.
We're going to have the funeral episode.
We're going to have the funeral episode. And now you know exactly what to do. On our website, we have the links of everything that you need to decide if you're going to buy a new machine or keep your old machine, right?
Right.
step by step.
There
to
it
make
is.
the right choice.
I always make the right choice, brother.
I don't know
You
about
know that. I do.
All right.
Especially when it comes to the ladies.
Okay, say goodbye to that pink elephant on your head, too. We're out.